What's up, everybody? It's your boy J-Rod. Right now I'm currently in Panama, but yeah, so today's video I'm going to be doing a comparison video between Dominican Republic versus Panama. I'm talking about Panama and Central America, alright? Because I already did one about Dominican Republic versus Brazil, so if you didn't see that one, I'm going to leave a link to it right here. But this one in particular, I feel like it's going to be a better matchup because both of the countries are very similar, so I do feel like this is going to be a good comparison video. Alright, so before I start, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to get right into it. Alright, so let's just get into it. I got my notes because I'm not gonna remember everything. Alright, so the first category I said is beauty. Alright, so beauty and nature, I feel like this is kind of a close one. Panama, if you're talking about Panama City is gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. And I mean, you can just look at the pictures and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Everything about Panama is like on point. Like I mean, the city itself, that was something that surprised me the most, and I'm speaking specifically about Panama City. The city itself was just way above my expectations. I did not expect it to be this modern, considering that it's in Central America, but seeing all the skyscrapers and, you know, like the water, how it's laid out, I think it looks really nice. It kind of puts you, I said this in my last video, but it really puts you in the mind of like Dubai, Miami. They do call it the Dubai of Central America, so I do understand why. But I think it just has like a very fine combination of city and nature just kind of all meshed together. You know, Panama is gorgeous. Okay, Dominican Republic on the other hand, very beautiful, very nice beaches. The city, now when you're comparing the city, so let me think of like the biggest city. Santo Domingo is the biggest city in DR. So when you're comparing the city, when you're comparing the city Santo Domingo to the city Panama City, in Panama, I feel like Panama City does look a little bit nicer and it's a lot more modern. It's a lot cleaner, the streets look nicer, but then when you're looking at both countries as a whole, I think they will be kind of like tied. If you were to just take Panama City out of the entire picture and just focus strictly on like nature, I feel like they're both kind of tied because Dominican Republic does have some really nice mountains, especially if you go like up further north and then you get to like the Las Terrenas area. It's really nice. Also in the opposite direction, you got like Barahona, that's really nice. Punta Cana is really beautiful. Pretty much everywhere in Dominican Republic is beautiful, okay? If you're just looking at Panama City by itself, I think Panama City is the more beautiful city compared to Santo Domingo. But when you're looking at both countries as a whole, I think that both of them, they're like an even tie. Like it's just kind of straight down the middle. All right, next category. All right, people. So once again, Latin America, for the most part, I mean, every country I've been to so far in Latin America, everybody has been very friendly. So that is one thing that Panamanians and Dominicans have in common, is that they're both very warm and welcoming people. I think with Dominicans, they're a little bit more social. You don't really have to put in much effort to talk to a Dominican. Dominicans will actually talk to you first, in my personal opinion. Like, we stand in the grocery store and they'll just start chopping up with you. And that's just how Dominicans are. Panamanians, I feel like, they don't really initiate the conversation, but once you do start talking to them, they are very friendly. So, you know, another thing that I noticed about Panamanians and Dominicans is that Dominicans are a lot more expressive when they talk. So a lot more animated and dramatic when they talk, and they use their hands. And you know when you're talking to a Dominican, like you absolutely know when you're talking to a Dominican. Even the way that they speak Spanish is just very different from a lot of places in Latin America. And I mean, Panamanians got their own Spanish too, but it's definitely like a night and day difference between the two people. But I will say that both of them are very friendly. And to be honest, I would say this one is kind of like slightly, I'm gonna give it to the Dominicans just a little bit. They get a little slight edge in terms of hospitality and just like greeting people. Like when you come to Dominican Republic, you definitely are gonna interact. It's gonna be impossible not to interact with these people. Dominicans are gonna talk to you even if you speak French. Like they do not care. They will chop up a conversation with you. I remember my sister, she went to Punta Cana. My sister, she don't speak Spanish at all, but she was saying like how she was trying to tell them she speaks English and they were still talking to her in Spanish. So yeah, like Dominicans, they definitely very social. All right, the next category, gringo experience. All right, so from my experience in both countries, I would say being a gringo is a little bit more easier. People don't like the term gringo. It don't really make a big deal for me. But I would say being an American, I feel like it's a lot easier in Panama just because Panama is a lot diverse and it is a lot of American expats in Panama City. Like that was something that surprised me about Panama, the amount of American people and English-speaking people here. And just English in general, like in Panama, it's tons of people that speak English. Like you would think it's like a second language here for real. Like everybody speaks English. It's not so much in the Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic, you're more so just gonna find Spanish. You're gonna have to work hard to figure out who speaks English. So if you are someone who's traveling and that's one of your concerns about the language barrier, it doesn't really affect me because I already speak Spanish. But for people who don't speak Spanish, then you might feel a little bit more comfortable in Panama just because there are a lot more English speakers. Dominican Republic is a hit or miss. Like for real, you really gotta make effort to find English speakers. Another thing I noticed about Panama is people, they don't really care that you're American because it is so diverse. So me being an American here, you know, you tell somebody you're American, it's like, it's really no big deal. They're kind of like, oh, okay, like, you know, cool, you're from the United States. Dominican Republic, on the other hand, if you tell somebody you're from America over there, you immediately feel like you're, what's the word? You stand out. Like people, they definitely make it known like, oh my goodness, like this person's from America. A lot of them have like a really, really big fascination with America, and a lot of them really, really, really want to go to America. And so when they do see American people in the Dominican Republic, a lot of them tend to get excited, or they have a lot of questions and they become very inquisitive, and you know, they just are very curious about culture over there. And I mean, even like when I tell people I'm from America, they're always saying like, oh, you're from New York. Like they're very obsessed with New York and Dominican Republic. And it's funny, like you can say that you're from California or Texas or anywhere, but they're always gonna call America New York for some reason. Some of them only believe that New York is the only place in the United States, so it's kind of funny. I would just say that with being a gringo over there, you're definitely gonna run, in Dominican Republic, you're definitely gonna run into scams more often, just because when people do realize that you're from America, they perceive you to have more money and stuff. So that's something that kind of bothers me when I'm in the Dominican Republic. It's just like the scamming and everything, like building relationships off of money. And in Panama, I didn't really get that treatment. In terms of which place is better to be a gringo in, it just kind of depends. I think you might enjoy the attention you get from being a gringo in Dominican Republic. For me, I don't really care for it so much. Like I kind of like to just blend in with the people. Some people like the attention. There are many attention-seeking people. I'm not one of those people. Like I'm kind of just like, you know, laid back. I think more so with me, I don't like getting taken advantage of. But I will say this overall, like in both countries, you're gonna get treated nicely, you know, when people know you're a foreigner. So this one, it just kind of depends. I think for me, I lean more towards the Panama side, but somebody, you know, they might want to experience what it's like being a gringo in the DR. So it's kind of like up in the air on this one. All right, but let's talk about the next one, safety. I feel like Panama is a lot safer compared to Dominican Republic. Especially in Panama City. Like for a place like a city, you think of crime, lots of people, but honestly in Panama, like I didn't really feel unsafe walking through the city. Like it felt fine even at nighttime, and this is like a big city, right? This is a metropolitan city, so the fact that I was like walking around and I didn't feel like, you know, any threats or anything, like I didn't feel like somebody was gonna steal my phone or something, like, you know, that's just how I felt in Panama City. Now, maybe when you get outside the city, I feel like, yeah, you would definitely have to be careful there. Dominican Republic though, like overall as the country, you know, I feel like you have to kind of be on your A game. There are certain cities where safety isn't really an issue, but definitely in Dominican Republic, I have to be more aware of my surroundings when I'm like holding out my phone or, you know, having expensive items. So Panama wins that one. All right, the next one, food. All right, so the food is almost identical. The only difference between the food is just the names. So I remember like going to certain restaurants, you know, I would be asking for certain items and they would kind of look at me different. And then like once I saw what it was, I was like, oh, okay, they just call it something different. So the food is pretty much the same. Like if you like Dominican food, then you're definitely gonna love Panamanian food and vice versa. You know, they do like the beans, rice, chicken. They also got sancocho. The Panamanians, they love using this sauce called picante chambo. Hold on, let me show you. But yeah, this is it right here, picante chambo. But this stuff is really good, and they put this in all their food. Panamanians, they put that in their sancocho, and it makes it really good. But yeah, I would just say like in terms of the food, it's very similar. So I think the food is about even. The next category is traffic. All right, so I feel like the traffic in Panama is worse than Dominican Republic. Panama City, I don't know, it's something about the layout of the roads, but it's kind of like just one way in and one way out for the most part into the city. So it's a lot more traffic jams compared to Santo Domingo. I feel like Santo Domingo, the traffic moves a little bit quicker, but it's crazy because for people who have been to Santo Domingo, y'all already know the traffic is bad in Santo Domingo. So the fact that I'm saying that it's worse in Panama just goes to show you how bad it is in Panama. But yeah, Panama traffic, I mean, it is really, really bad. It can actually take you a very long time to get around in certain places. And I would say that it's kind of like that for both places, but I would say it's a little bit worse in Panama. I think they don't have enough roads for the amount of people that live there. Now, when it comes to the driving itself, like the physical driving, I feel more safer in Panama compared to Dominican Republic, okay? I done told y'all in numerous videos about how the driving is in the DR. It's very crazy. People run red lights, people do their own thing. They speed, people drink and drive over there. Like, people do not care in Dominican Republic. So definitely when you go to Dominican Republic for your first time, you get in a car, you're definitely gonna understand what I'm talking about. I got this joke about Dominican Republic. I say that the rules are just suggestions. Like, really, people, they just do their own thing. Panama, the roads are really smooth. Everybody drives normal. The only thing is just traffic. All right, so I got 2 more categories and I'm gonna be done. So the next one is exchange rate. All right, so this one doesn't really apply for Panama because Panama, they use dollars. So what I will say is that let's talk about prices, okay? So Panama is expensive. It is expensive. Everything is very high. Some of the stuff is even higher than the United States, believe it or not. Food is just outrageous over here. Like, and I said this in my last video about Panama. I mean, a meal in Dominican Republic, you can find something less than $5. There is no exchange rate for Panama, so you know, you will use US dollars here. Dominican Republic, you do have the pesos exchange rate. You understand why a lot of people like to live in Dominican Republic, because if you earn dollars, like, you can live comfortably over there. Panama is expensive, so I'm just letting you guys know now, if you do decide to travel here, make sure you got your money up because you will be spending a lot of money in Panama, like, for real. And the last category is music. All right, so once again, very similar between the 2 countries. In Panama, they do have like this music. I think their music there is called Típico, and it reminds me a lot like the merengue típico in Dominican Republic. Like, when you listen to the sound, they sound very similar. But I definitely gotta give it to the DR. I think Dominicans overall, they're dominating right now in the music scene in Latin America. Like, I mean, they just have so many good genres. I really love the bachata, merengue. I even like dembo. They got like some really good dembo music. And it's just very unique. And a lot of these places I was going to in Panama, I was actually hearing Dominican songs being played. So I definitely feel like Dominicans, they win in terms of the music. Like, I mean, there's just no comparison right there. So overall, if I had to choose a country, and by the way, this was a pretty close lineup. I mean, it was about even on both sides in terms of which countries win. But I'm gonna give it to the Dominican Republic. I think Dominican Republic is the better country. Just culturally, I think that they just got it. Dominicans, they have it. Like, you know, if you were to remove all the Dominicans from the DR, it's just not gonna be the same island. So I'm definitely gonna give it to the DR. Physical qualities, yeah, you can say Panama, like, I think they got like the more materialistic side, but when it comes down to like the people and the culture and the country overall, I'm definitely gonna give it to the DR. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you got any other suggestions, they're down below. Like I said, I already did the Brazil versus Dominican Republic one, so if there's any other countries that you want me to compare, and it don't necessarily gotta be Dominican Republic either. It can be, you know, Mexico versus Colombia, or you know, Costa Rica versus Spain, just let me know. But yeah, you already know what to do. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, catch my next video. All right, peace.
Sabe que no sé, papi.